Hello everyone who interested in art and culture. In this video, I'm wondering to introduce you one of the very fabulous technique for print artwork.
Noir, if anyone's ever seen it, I don't know. But I took the image from the film, brought it into Photoshop, played around with it, drew on it, manipulated it, and then I transferred it to the linoleum block. And there's a few different transfer methods you can do. I use what's called a xylene blender marker, which will, if you have a laser printed image, will lift the toner from the image directly onto the block. And it makes it's a very quick and pretty effective way to get a clear image transfer. It's either that or you're hand drawing it back onto the block, which is a pain. Yeah.
Go over that one more time. How do you get the negative or whatever on your linoleum?
Yeah, so I just printed out on a home printer, a laser printer, the image that I've drawn.
Right.
And then I put that right on top of a blank linoleum block. And then I'll rub the xylene blender marker on top of it, which is, it's kind of like a, I don't exactly know.
But the material that you put through the printer, what is that?
Yeah, just regular paper, yeah.
So is your and then your copy is face down?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
So that automatically flips it for you.
How does the xylene marker go through the paper?
Yeah, so it just wets the paper and then the toner transfers onto the block itself. And you kind of,
Is that some kind of acid?
it's sort of like, it's related to nail polish remover, I believe.
Oh, okay, so it's a little bit of an acid.
Yeah. It's quite toxic. It
Yeah.
smells very bad. You want to have your windows open for sure when you do that. It does, yeah. Inkjet won't work. No.
So it touches your linoleum plate.
It doesn't.
It doesn't transfer the
Yeah, it just transfers the toner. So yeah, the toner would be the from the printed image itself.
You're not carving.
Not yet. Yeah. Yeah, this is just to get the image down on the block, and then you have the the areas that you want to carve. So yeah, once that's on there, basically spend a ton of time carving. That takes most of the time. Yeah, you can come up and take a look if you want.
But everything that was white is what you carved away.
Yeah, correct. And that's the basis of relief printing, which is this technique, which is you're printing on the top of whatever surface you're printing from. So whatever carves away doesn't get printed, whatever's left on top does get printed, which is the opposite of intaglio, which is etching. The same idea, but you're printing from what's recessed, not what's on top. And then these are some of the tools. There's a ton of different types of tools you can use. These are just basic speedball. You can get these from Blick. They're very cheap, but honestly, they last a long time, and these are what I end up using more than anything. There's some middle level tools. These are a bit sharper. These are called Power Grip. Same idea, they just come in different shapes, different sizes. And these are fancy Japanese tools, which are very fine. You can get a lot of detail with these. They're a little trickier to use, but there's a lot of options for tools in carving.
Sorry, Mr. Davis, Scripio tools, or is it called something else?
Excuse me?
Scripio? What do they call them?
Just
Carvers?
yeah, just carving tools, I believe.
Or woodblock carving? Or
Yeah.
Or lino?
Yeah, I don't think there's a difference between lino and wood carving tools.
Yeah.
They can be used interchangeably. They'll dull sooner with wood, obviously, than with
Sure.
lino, because lino is a much more forgiving surface.
And that's ceramic.
No, not that I know of. So yeah, after this guy is finally carved after 1 million hours.
How many hours does that take you?
I tend to be pretty slow with this stuff.
How many movies?
I would say this one took about 40 hours, so whatever,
Oh.
whatever you can watch in that
So
time.
what happens if you make a mistake?
You try to cover it up. You can try to adjust the design a little bit, but yeah, you don't want to mess up. You don't want to mess up.
That's why it takes a long time.
Yeah, you got to go pretty slow.
Patient, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of patience. But yeah, once this is carved, I would take a brayer. This is what helps you apply the ink. Take the ink, roll it out on a surface, piece of glass or whatever you have, and then roll it, and then just roll it directly onto the plate. And then, like Abby was talking about, she has a press. I have a press too. I would put this on the press, put a piece of paper on top or whatever you're printing on, and then run it through the press. And then you have your print.
And again, are you using wet paper or?
I've done both.
Yeah.
So
How long does that, the ink last? I've got a whole bunch of printing ink that's years old.
if it's sealed up and it doesn't dry out, then it's good.
Okay.
But you'll find out pretty quick if you open the can. If it's all crusty. And then I take the brayer and just slowly kind of roll the ink on there to get it to evenly apply as best as possible. So you just take the brayer and just roll this directly onto whatever your block is. And if you have a new block, you kind of have to layer it a couple times with the ink. You don't want to be too thick right away, or it can get a blotchy print. But yeah, so there's the block. A little layer of ink on it. And that does not have enough on it yet, so a little bit more.
How do you know it doesn't have enough?
Yeah, it's kind of a feel.
Yeah.
With linoleum, for sure, you have to layer it a couple times, or else you're going to get a not clear print. And the water-based ink does act a little differently than oil-based. It definitely tends to dry out a little quicker, so keeping it moving is ideal.
With the home cleanup, it is easier.
Yeah, way easier. All right, so that's enough to start. I'm just going to do a newsprint print first. This stuff, it's like the thinnest paper you can get, and you can usually get a clean print from it right away. So I'm just going to set the newsprint on the block, and then I'll take the Baron. This is one hand printing method you can try. Yeah, if you don't have a press, a lot of people don't, you just take this and press it into the block and kind of rub it around in circles.
So it's like using a brayer.
Yeah, similar.
You can use something flat and round.
Mm-hmm.
People,
Yeah.
a lot of times use wooden spoons.
Yeah.
Could you use a clean brayer? Well, you wouldn't get as good pressure. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
One thing about the Baron is it's made to be able to put pressure run down.
Yeah, and the pressure depends on the block. The nice thing about the Easy Cut stamp material is that it's easy to press into, versus this, you need a lot of pressure usually. All right. Let's see what we got. Yeah, there it is.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it as me. This method is really good for making really fabulous artwork. You can find the artist in P Concave Instagram and the website also. And please visit this art show in Mercer Island.